Welcome to Impact Moment right here on DC TV. I'm Alvin Jones. You know, a lot of times people go through pain, and that pain turns into passion, and then they find their purpose. A lot of times in life, we go through things, and it's how we adjust to it and how we make it better for other people. And that sometimes makes a difference, not just for us, but for the whole world. Now, today, I am talking to Robbie Shearer. He's with Comfort Cases, and he's a gentleman who started off in the foster care system. And guess what? His passion, well, he's now fulfilling it, and he's doing his purpose. And that is making sure that foster children have cases. Robert, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here today.
You've been able to take a part of your life that was probably not very good and transform it into helping other people. Let's talk about that.
You know, it's kind of crazy. So my life has not started out probably like most people that are even watching this show. You know, I'm the youngest of 10 kids. My mother was married 6 times, and we lived in and out of every shelter in Maryland, Virginia, and DC. And it was a really, really hard life. And then when I turned 12, I entered the foster care system after both of my parents passing away. I remember walking up the front door of my very first home carrying a trash bag. A trash bag. See, the fact is that we have 438,000 children in foster care, and we are allowing them all to carry a trash bag. Could you just imagine walking through a hotel lobby carrying a trash bag, how you would feel inside?
Well, if you think about, what's the song with Erykah Badu, all them bags?
All those bags, you know, and that was me. But my life decided to go on, and as every year I was in foster care, I became stronger and stronger. And then I turned 18. It was the fall of 1984, just across the bridge, right where we are at today, and I became homeless. See, when I was a kid in the system, when you turned 18, no matter what stage of your life you were in, you were out of the system. And for me, it was the fall of my senior year of high school, and I literally became a homeless kid carrying a trash bag. I went to school every single day. I carried that trash bag and would hide it behind the bushes, and I would go into school and I would hope that kids wouldn't make fun of me because I couldn't tell you the last time I had a haircut, or much less brushed my teeth, or even took a shower. And then the day happened. I actually graduated from high school. See, only 54% of kids in foster care actually graduate from high school. Only 11% of them will put an application in for a college, and only 3% will get a college education. And I was going to be one of those 54%, one of the first people in my family to graduate from high school. And then I joined the United States Navy. I joined the Navy, and I became a successful businessman right here in the DC area, and I never looked back. See, I had realized after all of those years of being in a shattered system, being a homeless teenager, that my community had failed me. I had realized in my mind that my community didn't love me, and my community didn't want me. I realized that my community had taught me 3 things: me, me, me. It was all about me and what I could do for myself. So I wanted to make sure that I was successful. I wanted to make sure that I bought one of the biggest houses in DC. I wanted to make sure that I bought not 1 but 2 expensive cars, because I wanted you to look at me. I wanted you to look at me and say, wow, whoever that man is, he's successful. See, I wouldn't tell people. And then 11 years ago, oh my gosh, did my life ever change. 11 years ago, right here in the District of Columbia, 2 of the most amazing humans walked into my house. My little daughter, who was 4 years old, named Amaya, and her brother Makai, who was 2. But the shocking thing, my friend, they were both carrying trash bags.
Wait a minute. Again? You've done all of this to get away from trash bags. I mean, was it a Gucci trash bag? Was it a Louis Vuitton trash bag?
No. As a matter of fact, I still have those trash bags, and this is exactly what it looked like. This is what it was, a trash bag. And I remember looking at the social worker and I said, are you kidding me? Are you really telling me that after all of these years that I have gone through this system, after all of the things that we have done as a country, after the fact that, you know, we all stand around and say how much we give and how much we care, we are still allowing children in the system to carry a trash bag? Her exact words to me were, well, what should they carry? Yeah. And I looked at her and said, how about some dignity? You know, that weighed heavy on my heart, but now all of a sudden I'm a dad to 2 kids. And by the way, my son Makai was special needs. They said he was never going to talk and never going to walk. They actually looked at him and looked at my husband and I and said, are you sure you want this one? As if he was a piece of clothing. Yeah. It's, the system is shattered. People say all the time, oh, our child welfare system's broke. No, it's not. I tell my kids all the time, if something is broke, bring me the super glue. Daddy will put it back together. But when it is shattered, we must discard it and rebuild it. And that's what we have to do.
Do you find in the world right now in 2020 that people are looking at systems that are shattered and saying, no more?
You know what? I never thought as a man who's 53 years old that I would ever be able to say, I truly see change. And I do. I see change happening. But for us, it didn't stop there. 3 months later, the phone rang again. It's another social worker. By the way, we have 2 more children that need a home. Mind you, we were trying to deal with being a dad of 2 amazing kids, my daughter Amaya, my son Makai, and the next thing you know, we were actually having 4 kids. My son Grayson, and he was 2, and his baby brother Tristan, who was 6 months old, arrived in our home. All of a sudden, within 3 months, we went from no kids to 4 kids. By the way, they brought a trash bag as well.
No, another trash bag?
Another trash bag. And so I couldn't get that trash bag out of my mind. I could not stop thinking about all the other kids. But at that point, I was just trying to be a dad.
So after all this time, they're still giving foster children trash bags.
Yeah, and it's just something I couldn't get out of my head. See, for my whole life, this trash bag tried to define me. This trash bag actually tried to make me feel what my self-worth was. And I couldn't shake it out of my head. And I kept thinking about all the other kids who were feeling the same exact way. So when I pulled all of my friends and some of my senior managers together, and I sat down in the conference room, and my children were there, and my husband was there, and I proceeded to tell my story. See, the fact is, very few people knew about my story. I had told very few people because I was worried about what you would think. See, I was so worried about what everybody would think of me. See, I was uneducated. I don't know the difference between there, and there. I remember the fact of eating out of trash cans just to make sure that my belly got full. And I was worried that if you knew about that, then you wouldn't care about me, that you wouldn't love me.
But see, your success is in spite of your struggle.
I never thought about it that way, but I just knew that I needed to make an impact within our community. So as we got everybody together, I told them my story, and I told them about the trash bag, and I told them what I wanted to do. In 7 years, we have given out over 100,000 cases to all 50 states, DC, and Puerto Rico.
How can people get involved if they want to help out? And if someone wants a case, how can they get a case?
Each and every one of us can do. We can do. That's the key. No matter whether you have money in your pocket or no matter if you're struggling for that money, we can all do, and that's volunteer. So visit comfortcases.org.
I'd like to thank Rob Sure with Comfort Cases for coming on. A great story. A man who went through the foster care system, became extremely successful, but never forgot to help. That's what life's all about. For Impact Moment, I'm Alvin Jones, right here on DCTV.